our team, our community. This is CondorsTown, and this is another Energy Condors connection. Now, here's Erik Fox and Ryan Holt.
Thursday morning in B-Town means, first of all, you woke up another day. Congratulations. You hopefully have your cup of coffee. Congratulations, part 2. And you get to deal with us, too. Well, kind of congratulations, part 3. It's another Energy Condors connection. My name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3, the man on the other side of the screen. Ryan Holt from your Bakersfield Condors. How you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm good. Ready to have a little Halloween this weekend and get ready for some Condors hockey in November.
Well, hopefully it's going to be treats instead of tricks. Yeah. Let's jump into it like we normally do. We always talk about the parent organization first on the other side of the big border with lack of trees. That would be your Edmonton Oilers. Last week you were talking about it wasn't the start we were hoping for, but last 2 games pick up some W's. What are you seeing?
Yeah, big win last night to start the road trip in St. Louis, and they rolled out, a familiar face that we've seen in CondorsTown for the better part of the last 4 years, and that being Stuart Skinner. Stopped 37 last night. I think I tweeted it last night, watching the game. Just, it looked a lot like what you saw here in Bakersfield for the last 3-4 years. It was one of those games where you knew Stu was, locked in and, as he usually is. But it's just a way of, the way the saves are being made, the calm, the coolness, kind of the little swagger about him. And it's not a cockiness, it's a confidence. And I like when goaltenders have that quiet confidence and kind of that look in their eye. And he has that. And he's a full-time NHLer now. This is his first full-time NHL season. He deserves it. He deserves everything that comes to him. And looking forward to a great career for him. And it all started right here in Bakersfield.
Now, obviously, some tweaks were needed, and it looks like Coach Jay did make some tweaks. What did you see? Maybe there were things that clicked a little more in the last couple games.
Yeah, Jesse Puljujärvi scored last night. Another former Condor, which is, great to see. He's a guy who, has been up and down the lineup and in and out the last, 4 or 5 years. So, great to see him have a steady role, and he's, often talked about up in Edmonton as well. That Yamamoto had a nice game last night as well. Nugent Hopkins scored his 200th goal. So, the Oilers are going to be right there. I don't think, anything in terms of their, slowish start to the opening 5 games, means anything. But, that said, they want to play the game the right way. And I thought it was good to see them bounce back from Saturday where they were kind of shut down by St. Louis at home. You go on the road, you get an opportunity to kind of show, no, here's who we are, and, play a much better game. So they get Chicago tonight and keep the road trip rolling here.
Preparing for a road trip like that, because, you're hitting, Chicago's obviously Chicago right now. St. Louis has still got a little powerhouse to them. What do they need to prepare when they go on a road trip like that?
Yeah, I think, you kind of keep it, especially when you're on the road, everything's so structured, and you go one place to another place, and on the plane, off the plane, to the hotel, to the meal, to the, so there's no real, you kind of feel like you're working the entire time, at least from a staff perspective and from a player perspective. It's very regimented. Whereas at home, you might, come to morning skate, then run to the bank, then do an errand, then do food shopping. And there, you might spend time with your kids, or, it's different when you're at home. So on the road, it's kind of all you kind of locked in on that laser focus. And, it's a tough back-to-back. These aren't easy, back-to-backs. I know they travel in charters and, they're in nice hotel rooms, etc. But you go from St. Louis to Chicago and then, keep moving on from there. These days start to add up. So it's, it's important just to kind of focus on the now and focus on what's happening. And, that was a big road trip starter. I think everyone kind of maybe expected Jack Campbell to go last night. They rolled out Stuart Skinner, and, a great performance by him. So now you're feeling confident heading into Chicago.
Let's talk about a rough back-to-back that unfortunately we had with your Condors. Let's jump into our Condors connection. Tucson last weekend. Not so many treats, more tricks. What were you seeing out there?
Yeah, just, some mental errors, I think, over the weekend. Saturday was, the second period. I think we gave up, 3 power play goals on 4 opportunities. The parade to the box a little bit kind of came back to bite this team. Sunday, I thought was a really competitive game, and thought the Condors really had a chance to, pull one out there on Sunday. But, just a couple of lapses, and, Tucson finished off their chances, and credit to them. But we talked about it last week, and we're starting to see it now. Matthias Janmark has just joined the team. Raphael Lavoie, Carter Savoy, they're coming back healthy. Xavier Bourgault, the first-round pick, who I think Condors fans are going to love, here in Bakersfield over the course of this season. I think he's going to have a terrific first rookie season, and he scored twice on Sunday. So, you're starting to see guys start to get back, to full strength. I think over the weekend we're probably at 75%. Now, we've got 3 or 4 guys up front that are added to the lineup, probably 1 or 2 on the back end. I mean, that's a whole nother team. That's our team. Those are core pieces of what we're trying to do. It's not the periphery players, not the depth players. Matthias Janmark is, a top line winger in this league. So, looking forward to seeing him probably this weekend in Ontario, and then a long stretch of home games coming up here in November.
Let's talk about that, because it is kind of a light end of October for the Condors, as they prepare for quite a busy November. How do you bounce back from the Tucson? I mean, it's nice to get a W under your belt when you have a couple tough losses like that, but they got to stretch here before a plethora of games coming their way.
Yeah, I think, it's nice to not have as many games here early on just because of the health situation. I mean, there's still, Desharnais and Benson, are kind of still working their way back from injuries. Justin Bailey still working back from an injury. So, you have guys that are injured right now, and you're 500 through 5 games, which is, fine. It's not the greatest start in the world, but it's not the worst start in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're coming off a week where, it started with the win in Henderson is how the week started. And now you're 2-0-1. It ends sour, but it started pretty well the last week. So I think not having games is actually beneficial for the Condors, just because it's not a full roster yet.
Gotcha.
It'll be more complete this weekend, but hopefully into next week, and then the week after, I think, is when you're going to start to see, hey, this is the Condors team. Now let's see what they have. And you're never going to have 100% in the American Hockey League. We know that, but when you do have your A- squad, you need to go out and win hockey games.
Now, of course, a game going on this weekend. You guys are in Ontario.
Yeah.
How are you guys preparing for that, and what are you looking at for that game?
Yeah, we head out tomorrow to the Inland Empire, our second trip there. They won on Wednesday against San Jose. We beat them last Sunday down in Ontario as well, too. They're, highly offensive team. They can beat you a number of different ways. So I think they're 5-1 to start the year, and their one loss was to us. So I think more importantly, it ends the road trip, which ends kind of road trip food pictures, which is unfortunate because I think we declared no anchovies in Tucson over the weekend in the latest blog that's out on CondorsTown.com is the best road food spot for pizza. So in the pizza category, no anchovies. It takes the cake in Tucson. So I declared that over the weekend. But we'll have a nice meal Friday night and get ready for a big one on Saturday at 6.
Are you excited to get some new eats when you visit Coachella Valley?
Yeah, Palm Springs. The good thing about Palm Springs when you go there too is everything is like the early bird special, right? Because there's only people over 85 there. So so you just you're able to enjoy some good food for a great price and all day early bird specials.
Of course, we've got a busy November. We talked about that on tap. Yeah. Looking at home games coming up. What are we looking at in November home-wise?
Yeah, a lot of great promotions coming up. Every Friday night's $2 beer night. So $2 McUltras, $2 Bud Light Seltzers next Friday. That's the first $2 beer night of the year, but every Friday is a $2 beer night. Got our military appreciation jerseys coming up on the 12th of November. Those will be cool. Those will honor the 75th birthday of the Air Force. Of course, Teddy Bear Toss at the end of November. Calgary's first trip to Condorstown is in November as well, too. They come in for an entire weekend. So a lot of cool stuff going on in November. And, 7 straight weekends where the Condors are home. Not maybe entirely home, but at least have a home game on a Friday or a Saturday. That takes you all the way to the new year. So that's pretty cool. It's a busy stretch of games, busy time of the year, as it always is. But certainly when you're home every weekend, it's definitely a lot to prepare for.
So let's talk about if you want to watch the game on Saturday in Ontario, first of all, what do you got to do?
AHL TV this weekend. We'll have you covered starting at 6 and hopefully a road trip finale victory.
And tickets for the home games. How do they do that?
Teddy Bear Toss 3-pack is the best way to get in. We'll get you a Disney on Ice ticket with the Teddy Bear Toss 3-pack if you purchase today. If you don't purchase today and you want to wait till next week, you're not coming to Disney on Ice, we'll throw in some U jerseys as well, too, with some tickets to some other games. So that's your best way in the Teddy Bear Toss, because without that, you're going to be sitting up in the nosebleeds, which aren't bad seats. But, Teddy Bear Toss, you want to make sure your bear gets over the glass, make sure you're down in the lower level and in great seat locations. So the 3-pack's on sale at BakersfieldCondors.com.
Yeah, don't throw out your rotator cuff trying to throw a big old teddy bear down the
aisle. I've tried from the top in my booth. It doesn't work. Like the aerodynamics, it just doesn't work.
Dang physics, how do they work?
Yeah, exactly.
Just attach it to the blimp and you'll take it down.
Exactly. Now we got an idea. We got a drone now, so we'll see.
Ryan Holt for the Bakersfield Condors. My name is Erik Fox from Energy 95.3. Of course, every Thursday, 10 a.m., we connect up and see what's going on with all things CondorsTown. And I'll catch you next week, my friend.
All right, Eric. We'll talk to you then.
It's been another edition of your Energy Condors Connection with your Bakersfield Condors. And, of course, right here, we are your station, Energy 95.3.